Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol UPST for UpStart Holdings. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. These guys did just announce earnings after the bell today, so let's zoom in on our sort of extended hours session and see what's going on. Where are we going to open? So it looks like a pretty sizable gap up. Let's, just for round numbers' sake, say we're opening here around 158. The pre-market high as of right now is going to be around 162. This will come in handy in just a moment. Let's clean that up and focus back over to the daily time frame chart. To the upside, what is an obvious area of resistance? Certainly here at 172 just about, and then I also like this wick at 182. I don't want to cherry pick the all-time high and just sort of be aware of upper targets before we get there, right, in case people start to front run it. To the downside, because we're opening on a gap up, we always have to consider the possibility for a gap fill, and that fills to the high of today's candle around 140.50. So let's zoom this back out now and talk about how this may potentially unfold. As we know, whenever we're dealing with gaps, we have some rules to put into place. If we open here, fail to take out the overnight high, then your short is back down through the open to target, I would argue, 50% of the gap fill. Why only 50%? Well, because it's a $20 gap up, and normally the day's range is not even $10, okay? So we need to consider that 150 should be the first downside target if we start to fill a gap on that failure to take out the overnight high. Maybe take off half position here, and then hold out on the other half to come in and do the full gap fill down at 140.50. So again, first half here, second half down there. The other scenario is that we get a gap and go, right? We need to cover both of them because we don't know which is going to happen by the time the bell comes around. So we open here, we start consolidating in this range. We never take out the open. You take the break up and over that pre-market high, not all-time high, pre-market high to then target those upper daily levels, which we since covered at 172 and 182 to the upside. So those are two ways that you can potentially play UpStart as we head into tomorrow's bell. If it really gets nasty and really starts going to the downside, fills the gap and continues lower, I wouldn't expect that to happen, but we have this area of support underneath us at 128. It's also the 50 SMA, so please keep that in mind should there be anything crazy that just throws this thing completely off the rails. But really, I think the two scenarios that we've talked about in depth so far are the likely scenarios to play out. The last thing I'll make your attention to is this sort of very tight support trend line. If we do something like this, you can just get a feel for kind of how that's acting. It's not perfect, right? Maybe we could adjust it a little bit, call it this if we just respect those two major wicks, if this would work. What we're looking to do is adjust, there we go, something like this. And what we want to do is touch to that and to that. So there we go. That is a little bit more accurate, a little bit more textbook by the book if you're someone who likes to play that way. So touch 1 and touch 2 in there. And that support trend line could be in play on any move back down into the gap. So please keep that on your charts as a longer term thought. If you enjoyed today's video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked down below in the description. And all of that being said, we wish you a green trading week.